Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Emmy-nominated Memnica Badman. I'm joined by...
Emmy-nominated Dan Shepard.
Never been nominated.
Soon.
Today we have Jeff Garlin.
Yes.
We love him. He's an actor, a writer, a director, a producer.
Comedian.
He's on Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Goldbergs. He was in Wall-E, Daddy Daycare. He is a very lovable gentleman.
Yeah.
I came to know him, I think, when doing the Conan O'Brien show. We were out there together, and we had just a blast together, and that's kind of where our friendship was forged. Also, before we get to Jeff Garlin, Cleveland, come party with us on June 23rd. Tickets on our website for our live show. Also, Detroit. Don't let me down, Detroit. I want to see a packed house at the Fox on June 21st. Homecoming. Should I wear an outfit for that?
Homecoming outfit. So like with the robe and the king crown. Yeah.
You don't think that'll be off-putting to see me enter as a monarch? I think if I come out as a monarch, people will be like, oh, this guy really
thinks
getting high on his own supply.
Yeah.
He's drinking his own Kool-Aid. Yeah, this guy's a real dick.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Okay.
Detroit, June 21st. So go to the website, www.armchairexpertpod.com. You wish it was a .org so bad.
No, I don't believe in .orgs anymore. This myth has been busted.
Disillusioned.
I'm very sad about it.
Please enjoy Jeff Garlin. We get support from Quince.
Have you been wearing the Quince linen shirts?
Yeah, I've been wearing them a suspicious amount. Yeah, European linen ones, they're $34, which is genuinely insane for how nice they are.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, here's the deal. They work directly with the factories, cut out all the middlemen, so you're paying for the actual quality and not some brand's marketing budget. Everything's 50 to 80% less than comparable stuff. I love it because it's all very classic and traditional, and I know I'm going to be able to keep it for a very long time, and the quality's off the charts.
That's true. The style is very consistent. Whatever you get there, you walk down the street, you're going to look good. They have these lightweight cotton sweaters, which I love for when it cools down at night. It's nice drape around your shoulders in the summer and then throw it on when it gets a little cool. And it's not just clothes. They do home stuff, ding, 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 travel stuff, everyday essentials. It's all the same model, quality without the markup.
Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/Dax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Dax.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Jeff Garlin, you got to watch me just sprint back and forth in the attic. Did you think I looked athletic considering I have a surgical boot on?
You do move with the greatest of ease. That's my opinion.
That's what I want, whole goal.
You're actually a specimen of a man. You're very handsome.
Oh, wow.
I like your hair. Your arms are toned.
Thank you.
You're a guy, even with a foot problem, who just is doing it.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah.
Well, you've always been really nice to me. You're not really playing to the choir right now.
No.
In the past, when you had no incentive, you were always kind to me.
To need an incentive to be kind is so absurd. No, I have dug you since I first heard about you from Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, that makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, and then I have followed you and think you're just a big bowl of wonderful.
Thank you. I love you. I remember very, very vividly our first interactions. And maybe I'm wrong, but to my record, we were both on Conan together one time. Back in New York.
Right.
And I was talking about that I have kind of a monopoly on playing douches in movies. Like if you need a douchebag, you pick up the phone, I'm going to answer, I'll be there.
Right.
And then after the show, you said, I want you to know you don't give off any douchey quality whatsoever.
I don't know that I'm one of those people who, when I think it, I say it.
Yeah, and I found it to be really nice and charming. You were telling, as I recall, some story involving you getting a massage in a hotel. Do you recall this?
Well, I have some massage stories. This might have been the one at the HBO luxury lounge where the table broke.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Yeah, falling naked is always unsettling.
Oh, my. Yeah. Well, first First of all, it just sounds dangerous.
It
Like,
was very dangerous. And on the way down, I farted, which let me know that's how your body reacts when it falls naked.
sure.
And then when she came back in, I covered my wiener and I said, I'm very sorry if there's any smell. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So lucky for you, she was out of the room.
When it happened, yes. It was during the period of I'm going to go wash my hands.
Oh, sure,
They
sure.
always want to wash their hands so they're so clean before you. Where I'd be more concerned with after whoever you massage, you wash your hands.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I put my arm on the table, and I've gotten many a massage. As I lifted my leg up and went to lay on the table, it collapsed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It was very unsettling.
But it makes a ton of sense that you tooted because your
Yeah.
entire body now braces for impact.
Yes.
And you're squeezing all the muscles in your
Well,
body.
and I did cover my wiener because I felt like that would be also very rude. She comes back in, it already doesn't smell so great.
You fucked up her table.
She needs
It
to see my
stinks.
wiener? No,
Yeah.
thank you.
And the cherry on the cake is your penis.
Yeah.
That was very kind of you.
Yeah, I'm thoughtful.
Yeah.
And you don't give off any douchiness. But
Oh.
that shows your skill as an actor that you can play a douche. I can really play. I haven't been given the opportunity. Slightly on the Goldbergs because I'm a curmudgeon. But I can play a really jerky asshole. As a matter of fact, Ben Stiller, when he was doing Curb one time, and I had just shaved my head for Curb, he said, man, you should be cast as a villain. And I
Yeah.
said, from your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah.
I would love to be a horrible villain.
Do you ever, you'll do a movie or a show with somebody and you're kind of watching what they're doing and you're seeing how much fun it is, and then you start thinking God, I got to do that.
Who I watched, I took a lot from, was I did Mad About You, and Carol Burnett was on. And I watched the way she handled herself and how she approached things and how she treated people who approached her, which was always delightful. So I watched her very closely.
And are you gracious if someone were to bump into
I
you?
hope so.
You hope so. Yeah.
I mean, I think I am, but it's
Yeah.
like one of those things like, who am I to say I'm a good guy?
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
other people decide,
Yeah.
Because many jerks think they're good guys.
Well, but then,
And so I don't want to be the one going, oh, I'm a great guy. I'm so gracious.
well, but then there's also the reality of life, which is there were many trips I took back to Detroit to deal with my father dying of cancer, and I'm in an airport, and I'm not feeling very
Okay,
fucking
so let's-
friendly,
Let's discuss that.
And at a certain point, I go, no, man, I feel like shit, and that's what you're going to get. I'm sorry.
Well, that's good that you can do that. I had an experience the other night where my heart was broken. I was very confused. I was very sad. And for some reason, I discussed this in therapy the other day, but at least a dozen people came up to me, and I'm not exaggerating. Every one of them told me how much I mean to them, how I help them with their lives and their pain. There were none like, oh, you're so funny, like general stuff.
Right.
It was all deep. And what it was to me was the universe sending me a message. You feel horrible. You feel you've done something. You're a good guy and you're doing nice things for people. It was strange. And I didn't notice it in the moment. It wasn't until a day or two later reflecting.
But can I add another theory to it?
Yes.
Which is you might have been a little unaware of how you were carrying yourself.
Right.
And other people may have observed that you were looking a little sad. And you run the risk, I run the risk. As the good time Charlie, we don't really let people see too often
Right.
when we're smarting on something.
Right.
And that when you do avail yourself to others, they will show up for you. But it's also hard to receive, isn't it?
Very hard to receive in that moment because I wanted to look at them and go, do you have any idea what I'm going through, the pain I'm in? But thank you.
Yeah.
But I just said thank you to all of them. And by the way, could be something in my body language that did say, hey, I'm approachable.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Hey, I need a life raft
Yeah.
over here.
Oh, yeah.
Just have to assume it was romantically related, was it?
It was very
yeah,
much so.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going through a divorce right now, and I had an unrequited love situation.
Yeah.
But that's now over.
Yeah.
But
But
I feel great.
can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Because you were married for quite a long time.
Yeah, 25 years.
25 years.
To a wonderful woman who I still love madly.
And who gave you two beautiful boys?
Yes,
I've not-
two beautiful boys who I love. I love
the
them
most
all.
gentile names I've ever heard, by the way.
James and Duke.
That's like
Well,
fucking
one-
John
Aaron-
Wayne's kids
Yeah,
or something.
Aaron Duke. Duke's first real name is Aaron. We wanted to call him Duke, but that's too strong of a name to give a baby. So we waited until he showed that he's very Duke-like.
How about though when he really made a mess of his diaper, you probably called him Duke?
Well, yeah,
like
that's
Han
the
Duke.
poopy. But by the way, I never used that for duty Duke before.
Dookie. Well, but just even if you saw that he took a man-sized dump and you were
Which
telling
he
your
did.
wife, sure,
did.
you'd be like, Duke really ruined the diaper.
Yes.
I don't know what you fed him. Where do those names come from?
James comes from my great-grandfather.
Because you needed a J?
Yeah, and Aaron comes from Abe, my other great-grandfather. You know, because Jews we name after someone who's dead,
So my brother converted to Judaism.
and he's probably the biggest Jew you know.
For a period, he was. Tell
When
you
people
why.
who convert, they're the biggest Jews I know, especially women. When they get married, they convert.
Yeah.
There's no sense even competing. They're as big a Jew as you've ever met.
Totally agree. And in this case was neither my brother or his wife were Jewish. It was, I do believe, motivated a lot that their children were being raised in a neighborhood of all Jewish people. They were going to JCC for preschool. And my brothers always had this affinity for Judaism. And then they just decided, what are we doing? Let's convert. They converted. So there was a period, especially when the kids were young and they're trying to teach them all the traditions and stuff. Well, I got to be a part of some of those. I love the baby naming ceremony. I'm an atheist, but of the different religions I've been
I'd
around
love
where
to
I
talk
got...
about that with you because I have strong feelings about atheism.
Oh, good. Let's hash it out.
Yeah.
But let me just say that I've participated in different rituals from different religions, and the ones that I seem to, at least intellectually, appreciate the most tend to be the Jewish ones. Like the baby naming ceremony is the coolest tradition because all it is a great excuse to sit down and remember somebody.
Yes.
Which, when are you going to schedule that? But every time a baby arrives, you get this opportunity,
Yeah,
right?
to remember the past, yes.
It's so cool. I really, really like it. I don't even need to know that it stems from Yahweh to enjoy it. Like, it doesn't matter to me that I disagree with the origin, maybe.
Right.
Tell me your thoughts on atheism.
I think atheism is completely wrong.
Okay, great.
I can understand someone being an agnostic. I also don't agree with Baptists, with Christians, with Jews, with Catholics, to where it's completely specific. By the way, what works for me. What works for me is there's something bigger than me.
Well,
And I don't know what it is, and I accept it. And you could even refer to it as the universe.
sure.
The universe equals God in my book. But to say that there is no God or nothing bigger.
Also presumes some kind of knowledge you don't have.
And by the way, I'm cool with you even being an atheist. But I really do believe in there's something bigger than me. But I do not know what it is, and I am not going to label it.
It's a little arrogant to assume you know what it is, right?
Very much.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
All right. So one night I'm performing.
Equally arrogant for me to go, there isn't. So I can
or
see.
there's only a certain God, a Jewish God or whatever.
yeah,
No, man.
Yeah.
I feel humble as a human being that I don't know fucking anything.
Sure.
I was on stage one night. Dude sitting in the front row is wearing what I thought was a Star Trek pendant. It looked just like I forgot what they called
I almost said Millennium Falcon.
No, whatever they would contact and would give them news and information.
Okay.
Of here's where you're going. People are listening or know it.
They're driving their cars into trees.
Yeah, right.
Because
By
it's
the
so
way,
obvious.
A big Trekkie is really.
Yeah.
So I said to the dude, "You into Star Trek?" He goes, "No." I go, "Well, why are you wearing the Star Trek pendant?" He goes, "Oh, that's because I'm an atheist." I go, "You're wearing something to tell me that you don't believe in anything?"
Right.
I go, "You don't think that's weird?" He goes, "Yeah, when I walk down the street, I want people to know that I'm an atheist." And I thought,
Interesting.
this is just insane. I thought that was super arrogant.
Sure.
And somebody with an ego problem.
Okay, you're right. So now let's back the fuck up. So I'm in a program that requires I believe in a higher power.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So first and
Tell me,
foremost,
I'm
you're
fascinated.
absolutely correct. I could never prove there's no God, nor would I waste any of our time doing
Right.
so. I personally just don't think there is, but that's fine. But I have to believe in a power greater than myself. All this is happening. The tides are going in and out. There's some symmetry where it's all working, and I'm not at the crux of any of that.
Isn't that the universe?
It certainly is, and
But
I
think
can also
I equate the universe with God.
Yeah, which
because
is
God
fine.
is a strange, all-powerful word. But I think that we're all connected.
I bump up
think
against
it's all-
the kind of sentient nature of it. It's some kind of anthropomic expression.
But here's the thing, though. I find organized religion completely arrogant and almost anti-humane on a lot of levels. A lot of wars and things are started because of that. And that's because of their definition of God. I think that if we all agree that there's something bigger than us, we're in a delightful state.
I'm happy to concede that, well, there's many forces bigger than me. Well, here's where it gets tricky. Not only do I have to believe in a power greater than myself,
Right.
but I also have to turn my will over to that. And that gets really dicey since I don't actually believe there's something I can turn my will over to. But again, here's how I get around that is I go, there's this incredible symmetry to everything. You know,
Right.
it's all working so well. And I know when I do things that are brustling up against that symmetry. I just know. I can feel it. I know when I'm trying to bend the universe to my will or to you to my will. I can tell. If I'm very, very honest with myself.
Right.
There's a big difference between just doing the hard work and then the results are what they are and trying to control the results. For me, I do the hard work and then fucking I don't know what happens, right? That's how I turn my will over to the universe. Is I'm not going to exert.
But isn't that about being humble and saying there's something bigger than you?
Yeah.
So again,
also
I
the
think that
collective.
I don't think you're atheist.
The
man.
collective is
I
much
think
bigger
you're
than me too.
agnostic.
If I sit in a meeting, I go, oh my God, there's some weird thing here that I know science can't yet measure, but I can feel it.
But I don't know that it's necessarily scientific and or spiritual. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just this schmuck who does comedy trying to help ease people's pain. It's so being humble and confident in your skills, there's no more delightful combination.
Yeah, and it takes a
Like you
long
can tell
time.
me I'm
right?
the least funny comedian that you know, and you're having me on the show as a favorite to your wife, and I go, oh, that's nice of you. No, but it's like, all right, if you think that everyone's funnier than me, enjoy.
But again, can I come at that from another
You
angle?
can come at it from every angle.
What I take from that is that Jeff Garlin doesn't have a fear of not being funny.
None.
You don't. Like me, I got fired last year from a sitcom. I had never been fired before.
Oh, I've been fired many times.
Oh, great.
That helps with the fear.
So when I left, and a good friend of mine was on that sitcom, and he called me. He was like panicked about what I was going through, and I said, if I had gotten fired because they said I'm dumb, I'd be in an uproar right now because I have a fear of people thinking I'm dumb. I go, but you know what? There's a few things I know about myself. I'm funny. So,
Sorry.
So
by the way, I'll line up and sign that petition that you're funny.
And so if I get fired, I can recognize some other thing was going on that wasn't whether or not I'm funny.
Right. Something else. Or the people that fired you do not have a sense of humor.
Or my sense of humor, whatever.
Well, yes. That's nice of you to even add my sense of humor. No.
Well, but we both know other comedians, our peers, are not always the most gracious group.
Not gracious at
Because we
all.
think we're competing with one another at all
that's
times.
what they think. That's why, as I've gotten older and been a comedian longer, I spend a lot less time with comedians than I used to.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an example as to why your marriage works.
Please do.
Okay. Her success brings you just as much joy, if not more than your own. And she has the same thing. And that, I would say, is the crux. Everything relies on that for those types of relationships. I would love to be with a female comedian. I would love that. I don't know anyone that's going to be happy for me. I'd be happy for them.
Yeah.
That's my nature.
Yeah. Well, I must tell you, it was a long road to here, though. I'll be the first to admit that my male ego was very troubled that my wife made more money than me.
And by the way,
And it's so fucking stupid, but that doesn't
think about
matter that
how
it's stupid.
You could have lost that wonderful person.
Oh, 100%.
Right. But now you know that it's about the joy of her success.
Well, you know what helped? You make these two little humans, and now
it's
all about these two. So they can actually look at her success and go, how lucky am I that I have a partner that can help me get these kids into college and across the finish line? Yes.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing that children provide, that it makes you selfless, whether you want to or not.
How old are your boys now?
They're 18 and 22. And I am incredibly close with them. It's terribly difficult because they're so close to being men that it's hard to watch them be mentally challenged, but that's what they do until they're in their mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
I have to strap myself in because my expectations when they're 8 are minimal.
Yes.
My expectations when they're 20 are much greater.
Yes.
But I don't put on them my agenda.
What are your expectations?
It's just that they're humble and they are moving in a direction that will help them lead a fulfilled life.
Right.
Yeah. And that they work hard and they care about putting in a good day's work.
You had a very lofty dream and you accomplished that dream. And I'm assuming you had the revelation of like, oh, wow, I really thought for certain if I was the lead of a TV show, I would feel perfect all day long.
Well, that's the stupidity of youth, where you think success is going to make you fulfilled.
Right. So you and I are in a unique parenting situation where my mom, rightly so, was like, hey, get a pliable trade so you can fucking eat. But we did that and we said to ourselves, oh, wow, the work started after that. The real work on fulfillment starts after the illusion has been shattered. And so you almost want for your kids, like, you know what? Sure, chase whatever you want, but fuck that. Also, be on the spiritual path. Like, I want you to feel good.
My older boy, I had him taught transcendental meditation.
Oh, great.
And I'm going to do that with my younger son. The thing is, I have fought long and hard within my own mind in terms of wanting to protect my children, wanting to give my children everything. And all I can do, I realized the big lesson was, I can't make them have a great work ethic. I can't. These are all things. The only thing I can do is they know their dad loves them and respects them.
Yeah.
I can do, because I found respect to be the key thing in terms of my relationship with my children. It started around 14 or 15, as opposed to yelling and punishing. When they know you respect them and they've done something to disrespect you or disrespect that relationship, they feel it. Deep.
100%. That's how my mom raised me. When I was in trouble, it wasn't like you're in trouble. It's like, hey, man, I fucking believe in you. I trust you. I empower you. I give you so much slack. And your end of the deal is that you don't throw a pie in my face.
By the way, that is it. From my viewpoint now, looking back on raising an 18 and a 22-year-old, that's all you can do. Anything more than that, I'm at a loss as to what more you can do than show them love and respect and hope that they see that and it comes back to you. In great measures, it has come back to me. But still, I don't know what I can do more than that. Hey, man, you got to go work all day. Hey, man, I sound like noise.
Yeah. I agree.
Another thing that I've done that has been pretty successful and helped is I ask them what they think about a situation. I go, let me hear your thoughts before I say a word.
Yeah, I love that.
And that has been very beneficial.
Well, now, in my experience, the father-son relationship is wrought with complexity. At least in my experience, it was. My dad and I had a very challenging relationship at many times. Probably all coming from me. I don't know. Me punishing him for divorcing my mom or something. What was your model like? Did you have a great relationship with your dad? Your dad sold plumbing supplies?
We had a family plumbing supply business, and then he was a legal administrator for law firms. My dad was a very blue-collar, a white-collar, blue-collar guy. Like half would be white, half would be blue.
And this is in Chicago?
And this is in Chicago and then South Florida.
In the 60s?
60s and 70s.
Right.
Okay. So the dude just didn't understand that I wanted to be a comedian. And he shoved college down my throat.
Right.
And
he's probably scared for you, right?
He was scared, yes. And we clashed on that heavy.
Yeah. You're a big dude. Was your dad a big guy?
Not as big as me.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother's not as big as me.
Okay.
But I didn't use that against him.
right.
I will kick your ass down.
Yeah.
No, but...
That's how it went in my...
But my father very much wanted me to become a lawyer. Becomes a professional of some sort. That's also the Jewish thing. But also, as my saying this, the dude was a loving dude. He was a great guy.
Yeah.
And so it was the only thing that we fought on.
Right.
The only thing ever. And then about 3-4 years in, he said to me, you know, you're as good as any comedian I've ever seen, and I'm so happy you went down this path.
Oh, wow.
Which was so touching.
How old were you when that happened?
Mid-20s.
Oh, that's lovely.
20, yeah.
Well, then you answered one of my questions, which was you moved to South Florida in 6th grade, which I think could be very challenging.
It was very challenging because I was the first Jew that a lot of kids down there. I mean, some people don't look at South Florida as the South, but it's very much the South. And I got into a lot of fights, and my humor helped me get out of fights. I didn't like fighting, and I didn't want to fight.
Right.
Yeah.
What part of South Florida?
Plantation, Florida, which is just outside of Fort Lauderdale.
That sounds so racist, doesn't it?
By the way, yeah, and the grocery store was Winn-Dixie.
Sure.
So yeah, it was really Plantation, Florida.
Yeah.
You don't get more racist sounding than
No,
that.
if you're friends with Jon Stewart.
Yes.
And he was on Stern, and he was talking about the rabbinical approach to things.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it so appealing. There is this unique communication style that the rabbis use. And again, it's another element I'm attracted to. And it's kind of, I can have my opinion, yet I can be super respectful to hearing yours and give it the time it deserves and all that. And there's just a confidence in one's opinion that allows them to be open and listen to others.
Listening is the whole thing, man.
Yeah.
Our country is so divided, and all it needs is, oh, you feel that way. I feel this way. Let's talk about it. It's just the minimal thing of agree to disagree.
Yeah, it's not
Well,
life
it's
or
harder.
death that you and
Well,
I
life or death.
differ on.
I know,
It's
but that's how people approach it, and it's
Yeah.
kind of disgusting.
Yeah, it's troublesome.
Yeah.
So you were into sports, but then you discovered, I guess, at a semi young age that you had an electrical issue with your heart.
I did. Wolf Parkinson White syndrome, which, by the way, professional athletes get now, and they just have it taken care of. But when I had it, they told me the only choice you have is to have open heart surgery. And I'm like, really? So I didn't do anything. And then I ended up being, this is really kind of amazing. I was number 72 of this new procedure. And there were doctors from Harvard and UCLA in the room, I remember, when they were doing this procedure on me. I was the 72nd. The equipment that they used on me said not for human use.
That's always reassuring. And how old were you when you had that?
The procedure, I was 27. So I was already a comedian.
Because a good friend of mine had a very similar thing, right?
Yeah.
You live with this kind of black cloud. There's few things that are scarier than your heart being.
Okay. The number of times that I thought I was dead, I can't even begin to count.
Right, because I don't even have a condition, and I was certain I was having a heart attack like 12 times, right? So I can only imagine if I had a condition.
Well, I remember being on stage at Second City saying to my castmates, you got to cover for me, and going off into like this little hallway, which is alone, which nobody can really get to,
Yeah.
and laying there going, well, this is how you die. And I try to keep my cool so as not to freak out others.
Well, also, you're thinking the worst thing that can happen right now is I get adrenalized and the heart starts beating even faster, right?
Well, that would be, it's all scary.
Yeah.
But by the way, that helped make me a better person and a better comedian.
How so?
Because it makes you humble. The more humble you are, the more vulnerable you are, the better artist you are, and the better person you are.
Yeah, I completely
So it
agree with that.
completely, and that's why friends who have children who are facing adversity of health, I say it's going to make them a better person.
Yeah.
They will rise above this.
Well, that's the other huge trick in parenting is like your inclination is to prevent them from any discomfort because they're an extension of you. And then you often have the power to do that. And you have to regularly remind yourself like, no, they need those tools.
I remember my son being in trouble at school, and wrongly, but I had to say to him, hey, man, there are going to be dicks in your life. There are going to be situations that you can. So I can't go in and fight your battle.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, but know that this is part of what the world offers. And I apologize for having to present that to you, but it's my job.
Sounds like you and my mother could have done a great job raising someone because I one time I had a third grade teacher that she hated my guts, and maybe rightly so, and I hated her guts.
Why do you always say that? You
Well,
always
in this
throw
case-
I had this, but maybe it was me.
Well, can I tell you why I approach things this way?
Yeah, why?
Because the only variable in the equation between Mrs. House and Dak Shepard that I have control over is Dak Shepard. So the only person in life I'm going to change if I want a different outcome. If it's Dak Shepard plus
By the way,
Mrs. House and I don't like the
completely
fucking
concur.
outcome, I can't change Mrs. House. So
Okay.
who am I going to change?
I'm not going there, but that doesn't mean that she's not 100% wrong.
she might.
That means you're going to a humble, enlightened level.
So I did not like Mrs. House to the
I didn't
point
like her
where
either, by the way.
okay, well, I was begging my mother, like, can you get me out of this class? There was another third grade teacher in the school, and so she said, "Listen, hon, you're gonna have a lot of Mrs. Houses. You're gonna have a Mrs. House as a boss. You're gonna have a Mrs. House as a fucking, you name it.
Oh my God, they're all over.
Yeah, and if this is the only one you'll ever encounter, sure, I'll get you out of it. But I think it's a great time to practice on how to deal with a Mrs. House. So
What a genius mom you had.
a couple things happened, and it got to the point where my mom finally said, "You know what? I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna get you out." And she went down and she came back and she said, "They will transfer you." And it's that thing you were talking about. I was like, "God, you just went and did all that for me." And I go, "I'm gonna stick it out," because I knew it would make her happy. I knew she wanted me to learn to deal with someone I didn't like. And she had proved to me that she'd go to the mat for me. And then I ultimately was like, I'll stay. And then I ended up staying.
Look at you.
I read some, so I don't feel like I'm outing you or exposing you because you seem to be open about it, which
I'm
I
open
totally
about
appreciate.
everything in my life.
You say that your eating is addictive, right?
Yes, very much. That is my addiction. No doubt about it, is eating. I can go 2 years without smoking pot.
Right.
I can go 2 years without having a drink. It has no bearing on me. If you were to give me a plate of brownies right now, I would be on the fast track to killing myself faster than, if you're lucky, you know what it is that gets you.
Yeah.
See, right now, unfortunately for me, I'm in a gray area, which is not a safe place to be, meaning on occasion I will have some sort of health bar thing situation.
That's a little sweet?
Yep. And I'm like, no. By the way, I don't have 40 of them, and it doesn't lead me to affording more, but enough of those stupid protein cookies and whatever, it's too gray. And I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
And there is action being taken. That being said, I have not had an ice cream, a piece of cake, a real cookie, any of that. For right now, I'm on like 14 months.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And before that, I did it for quite a while too.
I'm super sympathetic to people that have eating issues because it's one of the only things where you have to eat. Like, I don't have to drink alcohol.
Nope.
If I had to drink alcohol 3 times a day responsibly, I don't know how on earth I could do that, but you have to eat 3 times a day.
I have no
And it is the
choice.
thing you're powerless over.
Yes.
So I'm uniquely
So I need the
sympathetic to
higher power.
that.
I need the humbleness.
Yeah.
Of I can't do this.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
So I used many different substances to control and regulate my emotions.
Right.
So
Same with me.
When did you start using food to control your...
When I was a little boy.
A little boy.
Yeah, little boy.
Started early.
Really little. Like as young as I can remember. And I didn't really get fat. Like I look at pictures in high school and I go, you weren't fat, but I felt fat.
Yeah.
What do they call that term? When you
Body dysmorphia.
I had body dysmorphia, no doubt about it. I was not Fat Johnson at all.
Right, and you
I
felt
thought
that
it
way.
was. I go, you were kind of adorable.
Yes.
Yeah, and well.
Oh, we're so mean to ourselves, aren't we?
Okay, so I'm going to jump to something here, and then I'll come back to the sugar. The thing I want to jump to, because you're saying mean to ourselves, the only thing that I know at 56 years old, the only thing that I know is if everybody were kind to themselves. If you're kind to yourself, it's hard to be mean to other people and make bad decisions. And it's the hardest thing in the world. I know this. And, every day I get up, I look in the mirror and I smile at myself in the morning.
Oh, you do?
Which makes me laugh because
Yeah.
I look ridiculous. I try and set a tone of being kind to myself. But yet, I'll say those things, you fucking idiot, you this, you that.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to go the negative route. Yeah.
At what age do you connect the dots that, I'm not just hungry, I don't just enjoy sweets, I'm trying to regulate myself?
It wasn't until my father died, which was about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I stopped eating sugar. And I realized that I had nothing to grab onto to deal with the sadness that I felt of losing my father. And I started on Lexapro. And it helped me.
Yeah.
But then it made me clear to see, wow, I'm having trouble functioning as a human being without the sugar.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went to the Lexapro and I felt better. I'm no longer on that. I'm on something else. But I know that when I'm shoving sugar, and shoving is the right word. It's not delicately eating.
Yeah.
When I am shoving Pop-Tarts raw, because I don't have time to toast.
Who has time?
I'm not toasting them because I want to shove the feelings down immediately.
Yeah.
When I am doing that, it is not about the Pop-Tarts, how they were created, what they're doing for me nutritionally.
Yeah.
It's 100% emotional, and I'm not present.
Yeah, you're going to distract yourself from whatever thing you're not enjoying.
I've been sober this current run since the day my mom passed away, which was last November. And it's really weird because I didn't know she was going to die that day. I had just seen her in Chicago. I'm flying home, generally on the plane. It was when Virgin was still flying. they had these Swedish fish from Dean and DeLuca.
Okay.
And I would get 3 packs of them because I'm in first
And I bet
class.
you're your most charming self with the stewardess while you're asking for these,
my
right?
God. Charm.
You're using all
Good
your
night.
skills.
Good night. I could have asked her for $20.
When I
too.
drank, I was always like, at some point they're going to want to cut me off, but I got to be ahead of this.
Okay, so I would do that, and I also would load up on treats at the airport to have in my little pocket in front of
Yeah,
me
the pouch.
with the thing. Well, I landed, this particular flight. I hadn't asked for Swedish fish. When she asked me if I wanted any, I said no, and I hadn't touched the stuff. And I didn't pay attention to any of it because I was just deep in reflection, what have you. I was present. So that night at home, having been to Overeaters Anonymous, knowing what it takes to be sober, I thought, you know what? Tomorrow morning you're going to a meeting because you don't want this to stop.
Right.
So it stopped naturally. And then I went to the meeting. And that afternoon of the meeting, my mom died. So
wow.
It wasn't a decision, my mom's dead, I'm going to honor her by being sober.
I got you.
It had already started. A lot of adversity during that day. My mom was the last thing. And then that night, I had to go do a show, an hour.
Really?
The day my mom died, the day I decided to go sober, all of this. But I thought to myself initially, how am I going to do an hour with what I'm feeling?
Right.
You know? And then my wife, who this was right before we separated, she was very worried that I was going to go on stage and just say something I'd regret.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'll be fine. That's what I'm saying. She's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
But that also helped in me see that I've got a job to do, not only for myself in terms of being sober and being the best man I can be, but my job is to ease people's pain. Because there were people sitting in that audience who were dealing with things very similar to what I was dealing with. And it was my job for that hour to take them wherever I could take them. I have become I've always been very honest and very vulnerable on stage, but I'm at a whole new level. And people are finding that very comforting and moving.
Yeah.
And I see it in their reactions. And it's been very exciting. And I'm going to keep going in this direction.
It's way more rewarding, isn't it, than making people laugh? I thought for me, the height of the experience on planet Earth is making someone laugh. As I started being a guest on podcasts and being open about all my struggles, and then when people would connect to me on that level, I found that just infinitely more rewarding.
What I like to do is combine that with the laugh.
Yeah.
And that is just, it's magical for me.
Now, OA, because I'm a little curious, because I know that in SA and SLA, you end up having to define what sobriety is going to be, right? So I think in SLA, you have like a bottom line, they call it. And so if you don't cross your bottom line, and you pick, right? So it could be no call girls.
Right.
Or it could be monogamy, whatever the thing is. So in OA, do you define what sobriety is for you?
Everyone has their own thing, yes. Mine is, I'd like to say sugar, but some of those health bars have sugar in them.
Right.
Sometimes I eat a bowl of cereal and there's sugar in it.
Yeah.
I try not to have sugar be one of the first 5 ingredients, but mine is really when you get to the black and white of it, no sweets, no desserts.
Yeah.
No desserts, no adding sugar, obviously. I never really even did that, but no desserts. And the only thing I can say that I really miss is ice cream. Ice cream to me is so beyond the human condition. It's so magical that I would equate it with an orgasm.
Okay,
I would equate it with sex. It's just
like it's greater than the sum of its parts. When you're looking at it, you think there's no way.
Yeah, no, ice cream is magic. And I only like vanilla. I mean, I like all flavors, but vanilla was my favorite, which, you know, it doesn't take much.
Yeah. Okay, so now you drop out of college, you move back to Chicago.
Yes.
Chicago's a fantastic place to be if you want to get into comedy.
Yes, the best.
And you did Second City.
Yes, did stand-up at Second City. Yep.
Oh, you did stand-up at Second City.
No, stand-up and Second
Oh,
City.
stand-up.
And also Second City led me down the path of being an improvisational comedian.
Yes.
Because for the most of my last 10 years, I walk up on stage with nothing in my head. And then I do an hour.
It blows my mind. You know, I'm just too afraid to try that.
Well, you can't have fear inside you when you do it. That's for sure. You have to let it go. You could do it, but you have to get to real places, and you have to, whatever's going on in the room, you have to sort of go with.
And do you start by interacting with people in the audience?
The way I've been doing it is every time I go up on stage, I play a different song. So I might play, like the other night, I went up to a song that I've used before, more than any other probably, but I'm always different. Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash.
Oh, sure.
And I started talking about what the song means to me, what the song means to me on that given night. And then that just starts a conversation. Boom, I'm off.
Right. And yeah, it requires a lot of confidence.
But by the way, I have comedically, I'm 56 years old. I've been doing it since I'm 20. I have supreme confidence in what I do.
Yeah.
I go on stage, I'm Tom Brady.
You're fucking comfortable.
The only arrogant thing I ever say about myself is I'm not going to say I'm the funniest comedian, but I will say unequivocally, amongst all of my peers, I am the most comfortable comedian on stage.
Right.
I'm number one on comfort.
Which, by the way, is for me, 80% of the experience of going to stand up is just my mirror neurons. If I can detect that they're nervous, I am now so nervous, and I
Doesn't
find
make
it
you
the
upset?
most
Yeah.
excruciating
It's painful.
experience.
It's
yes,
painful.
to me, it's
Even if they're funny, it's painful.
I'd rather see a guy come up short on an 80-foot motorcycle jump. I mean, honestly, I have that would be easier for me to experience.
It's the only thing in my life I have supreme confidence in.
Okay, so in Chicago, you end up being roommates with Conan O'Brien, which I
Yes.
think is just, for gossip's sake, fun.
Yeah.
How old were you guys?
We were somewhere in our 20s.
You guys
20s.
seem like a terrible pair to be
Well,
roommates.
Bob Odenkirk, who's one of my best friends, said to me one day, he goes, "You got that extra room in your apartment?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Can my friend Conan?" And I burst out laughing. I go, "The dude's name is Conan, really?"
The barbarian?
And then he moved in, and we really liked each other. But I was so happy with how funny he was that I would wake him up at all hours. And I had air conditioning in my room, and his room was like a sauna. But I would wake him up at like 3 a.m. and go, do that bit again, do that thing.
Yeah.
I found him incredibly funny and so smart and wonderful. Never pictured him as a talk show host, even though we did a fake talk show in our living room.
Well, by his own admission, and he was on here talking about it, a very, very tightly wound person. If I could just say, simplistically, you guys are almost polar opposites. And
Very much so, yes.
yeah. So what a unique.
Well, by the way, though, in our friendship, he looked to me to sort of calm him.
Right.
I believe.
He was
I
probably
believe I did
drawn
that.
to your energy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a wonderful friendship.
What you have in spades is that you appear to be very comfortable in your own skin, which is a unique thing that people are really drawn to, right?
I am so comfortable in my own skin until, let me say this, comedic situations, yes. Walking down the street, yes. When I am in any sort of romantic thing,
all your
yes,
fears.
Yes. The minute it becomes unrequited, I become so insecure, not happy in my skin, and I do everything I can to make it worse.
Right.
And I've done that, and I just got over that. You know, when I was younger and someone didn't like me, a girl didn't like me, I always had the attitude, my charm is going to get you. It's like, if it's not now, it'll be 6 months from now.
Right.
So I would be 24 thinking that.
You're like a slow-moving infection. Eventually, it'll overcome the host.
But see, now I'm a 56-year-old man. I'm not used to being in any kind of relationship. And so for me to say, oh, I'll eventually get you, maybe in my 80s. You know what I mean? Though
Yeah,
it's a lot different, man.
You said 25 years you were married?
Yes, 25 years.
In these fantasies I whip up in my head of what it would be like with me on the dating scene, I also am aware of it would crash and burn. I forget all the let's just say generally speaking, 90% of relationships are going to fall into one category or the other. Either you're going to like them too much or they're going to like you too much.
Without a
both,
doubt.
both fucking suck. I'm going to have to hurt this woman's feelings.
Or she's going to destroy mine. The pain of being rejected is so deep and scarring, whereas the other one, when you say, I'm not getting to there, is so hard, doing it and you feel bad, but
You know what? You just nailed it. Yeah. The one is way worse on the front end. The other one's way worse on the back end.
Without a doubt.
Because once you do have that conversation, you feel like an asshole for 3 days. Eventually, you do feel like the weight has been lifted.
The weight's been lifted. I was honest.
And basically, the weight is just put on you when you're broken up.
So, yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you a couple of things people say to me. Number one, Susie Essman, who plays my wife on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Brilliantly,
she said,
by the way.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She said, you need to sow your oats. You never sowed your oats. Let me tell you what's boring. Sowing your oats. Sowing your oats is so ungratifying for a man. I am all about a relationship, and I'm about the emotional aspect of men and women. Physically, yeah, we need to do things, but I'd rather take a nap
Okay.
I'd rather watch a movie.
Okay.
Maybe even not go for a walk. I'd rather have sex than go for a walk.
Right.
But I'd rather go swimming. I'd rather take a nap.
This sounds very attractive for a lot of women, I would think.
What's that?
Very low expectations of banging a lot. That's a great selling point, I
Well,
think.
yeah, but it's like, but I'm selling someone I'm not interested in. So I'm all about the emotional thing. And what I just got over was more of the emotional thing.
Right.
Not more, it was the emotional thing.
Right. And I imagine you're still close with your ex-wife?
But that changes from day to day.
Sure.
But I find her to be a wonderful, great person.
I'd have to imagine you'll always be in debt to her for raising your kids.
I
with
am
you.
in debt to her, period.
Yeah.
And whatever went wrong in our marriage, I'll just say it's my fault. I'm not even, I didn't
Well,
leave
but
her
in
for
all-
another woman or anything like
Yeah.
that. But I'm just saying this woman is remarkable, but it is much better to be married than not married. What is delightful for me is being alone. I love walking from one side of the house to the other, and no one's telling me to do something. No one's disappointed in me.
Yeah.
It's pretty delightful. On the flip side, being single, I couldn't hate more.
You hate it.
Hate it.
It's almost like the dream scenario is to be married for 11 months of the year. Like if I knew that
disagree. My new thing, and I'm talking about this in my stand-up, is to get married and buy the house next to me for my wife.
Yeah, which people do. I've heard of people who have that scenario. When Tom Arnold and Roseanne were married, they owned two beautiful homes right next to each other.
And that worked fantastic.
And look, yes.
Because they're both so
Don't
together.
fucking point that out.
Yeah.
You're doing stand-up in Chicago. You're also doing improv and you're doing sketch comedy. And then at some point, you get hired by both Dennis Leary and Jon Stewart,
yes.
to work on their set with them.
Yes.
Do I understand that correctly?
Yes.
And what makes you good at that?
Well, amongst my peers, I have the eye. Not the eye that I punch up stuff, but I have the eye of what makes somebody a better comedian. How to get to the core of what makes you great. See, that John and Dennis are different from the standpoint of John couldn't fill the room with what, at the time, with what was special about him. Whereas Dennis could fill the back row without even trying.
Yes.
But John said so many things that were deeper than what Dennis was saying.
Yeah.
So with Dennis, I had to help really mold the material more and less on performance. And John, I had to help him more with performance and less on material. They both rose because they're both brilliant comedians.
Yeah. So does Larry David come into the mix because he's aware you're good at this? How does that?
Okay, so Larry David comes into the mix because I had done this with John and Dennis, and Larry and I were acquaintances. I'm in a suite of offices at Castle Rock. I'm writing with a guy named Alan Zweibel, great comedy writer, a show for CBS that's going to be a companion show for, it's either my show or a show called King of Queens that are going to be the companion show for Everybody Loves Raymond.
Okay.
Mine was the Jeff Garlin program. And obviously they chose that. But also while I was doing that, I went to lunch with Larry and he was asking me questions about stand-up. He sort of was sitting on HBO, wants to work with me. What do I do next?
Right.
And I said, if you ever want to do a special, which HBO was interested in doing something with him, I have the perfect idea. You would play yourself building a special, and then the out is you don't have to even do the special.
Right.
That became Curb Your Enthusiasm. And he insisted that I am a producer.
That was probably generous of him at that time, right?
Very much so.
Yeah.
And then he insisted that I play his manager.
Yes. I watched from day one of that show. I mean, I really thought, because I didn't know you well yet then, and I was younger, and I was like, this relationship must be real. Like I would have thought there was 15 years of history. I would have thought that you had some true capacity in his life that you were playing.
Well, what was ironic and weird and something you can't explain. So we knew each other, got along great. We're going on this path. We start having our casting sessions, which we're improvising with people to be his wife, be different characters. And as I'm in these different scenarios with him, he and I, we even talked about it in the auditions. People would leave. We go, have we been working together for 20 years? Because that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah.
It was just like, what the hell's going on?
Also, you have an incredibly high bar to match because he and Jerry clearly have some kind of fucking
Very much
extra.
so.
This is creative soulmates.
No, I consider myself having gotten very lucky. I'm so grateful.
And the format of that show, again, it's kind of, I wonder how much of it's lore now, because like friends of mine from the Groundlings would get on the show. Caitlin Olsen was on it for a
Caitlin
while.
plays Cheryl's sister. She's coming back this season, actually.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was one of my best friends. And, all of us in the improv world were just immediately like, oh my God, that show's so hot. So how does it work, right? And what I understand is that there's a beat sheet to the scene. Is that how it?
No.
It's not.
There was no beat sheet.
Okay.
There is literally a 7-page outline with the story written. In each of them's like, a couple paragraph or two each scene, like in actually Word.
An essay.
Yeah, like it's like 7 pages long.
Okay.
And then we just go from scene to scene and we make adjustments as we improvise. But the story is all there. There's rarely, if ever, a line of dialogue, so we can have the freedom to improvise.
Yeah.
But it's not a beat sheet. It's a story. And we know what has to happen in each scene. And we don't show the actors any of this. Even when they audition, they get a slip of paper of what they're going to do, and it's not really the truth.
Okay, so over the years on Curb, you could have not possibly expected that you would be doing this for 19 years.
Did not expect it. I did not expect the show to become an iconic, legendary show. We did what we thought was funny. It wasn't like we were trying for anything. It wasn't like we were hoping to be picked up. We just did what we thought was funny.
Yeah.
We really became a hit when it comes down to it, right after The Sopranos became a hit. We were put in the 10 p.m. after the 9 p.m. Sopranos for 2 or 3 seasons. And it was at that point that we became gigantic.
Right.
Well, season 1, HBO called us their little experimental show. But after, I think it was season 3, we followed The Sopranos. It just changed everything.
Now, Larry's writing process, are you privy to that over the years? Do you know how that...
I know how he does it, and I have been privy to it, but I am not part of it. It's so funny. People come up to me on the street and tell me they've got a great idea for Curb.
Right.
And I explain to them, no exaggeration, that I have been approached over 1,000 times easy, and not one has ever been funny. And they say, well, this one is. And it's not. And I go, I hope you're satisfied.
Uh-huh.
One time someone said something to me. It was a comedian, David Feldman, who thought of the idea with the numbers on the arm. It was the Holocaust chef. He thought of that, and I told Larry, and he said, can we use it? Yeah. Larry wanted to make sure. But the point being is, myself, one of the people who came up with the show, Larry's partner, I'm on the show. I'm one of the executive producers. I have never given him a suggestion in the entire history of our show. I have never said, you should do this, or what about this for an idea? Yet people are so arrogant, and they come up to me, and they tell me, and I explain, it's not happened.
Right.
I thought when I was younger, when I was 20, 21, that I was going to be a star in a few minutes.
Yes.
Then I thought, okay, 27. And then in my early 30s, when I stopped giving a shit about when and how I became successful, I became successful almost immediately.
Yeah.
When I only worried about being good. And that's still all I worry about.
Now, I don't want to be crude, but I'm going to be a little bit crude. Has Herb given you a financial safety net by which you can truly just do things that you are on fire to do?
Doing Goldbergs and Curb has put me in a nice financial position.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Curb was on HBO. Therefore, I don't get
There's no syndication.
It was now, especially because there's HBO Go and HBO Now.
Yeah.
So, no, it hasn't made me independently rich, but I am quite well off from Curb. And
Right.
I continue to get paid a very nice salary for doing it. Nobody out there should remotely worry about me.
And you don't have to write a dog movie if you don't want to. I can kind of track where I'm at career-wise when the agent starts going, this producer wants to meet you, write this dog movie.
But guess what? If the dog movie was full of joy for me, and I'd feel creative, and I was being paid a good salary, I'd be thrilled to do it. For me, I don't think too much about how cool it is or not.
Yeah.
I think in terms of how much joy and how much money.
Sure.
Because they're both important. But I will not do something that doesn't bring me joy. I won't do something just for money.
Right.
Gotta have joy.
Yeah. Now, Goldbergs, you guys are what, season 6?
Season 6, yep.
Okay, so Wendy is a very, very good friend of mine.
I'm in awe of her.
Isn't she so fantastic?
I don't even know.
She's one of the most unique comedians I've ever met. We were in the Groundlings together. We were in the Sunday Company together, and we wrote a lot of stuff together. We had a very mutually bizarre point of view comedically. And she does not fit into the archetype of someone that pursues comedy. In the most
By
refreshing,
the way,
unique
yes,
way.
her Long Beach, the way she was raised, the way she lives, is of a person that you could see owning a shop that sells clothes for cats.
100%.
She loves cats.
She's
more than
so
anyone, yeah.
refreshingly unique.
She's completely unique in that way. Yes, very much so.
And she seems to have this really healthy, like she's not desiring to be on the cover of a magazine in a vain way.
Not that, but she does desire to do good work. And make a living.
Yeah, absolutely.
I admire her, and I hope that she and I can work together on other things, and our relationship on the Goldbergs in terms of appearance doesn't spoil it.
Right.
Because people see us as a certain way. But it's kind of amazing that I have two different kinds of audiences.
Yes.
Actually, three, because I've done a lot of kids' movies. I've been
you have a bunch of cartoons,
in the Pixar
right?
movies, and also was in Daddy Daycare. So I have a lot of children's stuff. I have a lot of family stuff, and I have a lot of edgy stuff.
Right.
But, so it's all...
It's kind of the
different.
dream.
I'm living the dream, man.
Yeah.
I'm good. If I only could have someone love me and me love them back and forth, my life would be complete. I have my children's love, and I love them. But I want romantic love.
Yeah. Well, now that's absolutely going to happen because you're a very
saying that.
No,
it's
100%. Okay. Well, my mom's recently widowed, and she's a real catch. So if you want me to set that up, please. She is 67.
Oh, right.
That's quite a bit older than you. 11 years. Yeah. Very
she
cool.
Sounds rockin' cool, and I certainly respect her son and the job she did.
She's my favorite human
But
being.
I do agree with you. Got to watch out. But I kind of feel now I am not active in going after anyone, and I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm just going to enjoy being alone, and we'll see what happens.
But I obviously I did not have nearly the experience you did. But I was with someone for 9 years, and we broke up before Kristen and I. And I definitely was very pessimistic for over 2 years, where I thought, oh, I guess that thing where you meet someone and you fall head over heels in love and your soulmates is something that maybe just happens in youth. I really started thinking, oh, that probably is not going to happen again. I gotta have a different expectation. And I got very, very pessimistic for quite a long time. And then I met Kristen, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, by God, it happened again. And I just want you to know, like, it'll 100% happen
There's
again.
There's a difference between us, though. You're
Okay.
saying happen again. I don't want to be so sad, but I want to say this to you, and this is no exaggeration.
Yeah.
I've never had that.
You've never had that?
Never. No.
Why do you think not?
I don't know. I don't know. It's never happened to me. I've never had someone be crazy about me the way I was crazy about them. But I think that it hasn't been my thing, man. But you know who's benefited from it? Anyone who enjoys my work. Because my work is better because of it.
Okay. We both love TM.
Yes.
Transcendental meditation.
Transcendental meditation. I started it around the same time.
5 years ago?
My dad's side. Yeah, about 5-6 years ago. Yeah. What happened was two people told me about it. One was Jerry Seinfeld, and one was a friend of mine's mom who suggested it. And then I did some research on it. The person who really taught me, her name was Nancy Cook Herrera. And Nancy Cook Herrera learned from the Maharishi.
Okay.
She was on the trip with the Beatles.
Okay.
And she was magical. She just died. She was in her 90s. And she also said that the Maharishi said you should charge, but a nominal amount, because when people pay for something, they hold it in higher value. All I can say is it has brought me great joy and great peace, and I would recommend it to anyone. And I would say it's worth investigating.
Yeah. Seinfeld's counterintuitive that he does it, because when you hear him on Stern, he seems to have this like knee-jerk, who needs therapy? You know, I know it's a bit of a bit, but I just was shocked to hear that.
He confuses me.
Oh, okay.
I look up to him.
Me
I look
too.
up to him a great deal. He is one of the smartest, most together people I've ever met, but he's also a tough guy because of the sort of, this is the way it is.
The
type
rigidity.
thing. The rigidity.
Yeah.
He's very rigid, including as an artist. You know?
Yeah.
By the way, Jerry said to me, this is 5 years ago, hey, will you watch me tonight? Like, I was at his show. I was hanging out backstage. He goes, will you go out and watch me? I don't ever get that opportunity. Take notes, tell me what you think. And afterwards, we talked for almost 3 hours about comedy, the differences between us, what I thought, whatever.
Yeah.
He gave me one piece of advice that I've always been intrigued by in terms of me uniquely. Now, I'm generally a guy who dresses very comfortable. I know on Curb I wear a suit. And he said to me, he goes, there's something so funny about you in a suit. because you kind of look like you're trapped. And
That's
so it gives off a vibe that's very funny. And when I've experimented with that, and I find it to be totally right.
yeah.
And so
That's a great
I'm
observation.
I wear a suit quite often. His voice rings really big in my head.
Well, Jeff, you lead with a gigantic heart, and anyone who's ever met you would see that. So glad you're here. Well, I adore you, and I'll see
Thank
you
you
again soon.
You will.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman. Welcome to the fact check. Our resident Pussus pachydermis
And penis pachydermis.
and Penis pachydermis, Dan Shepard. Should Rob be perineum pachydermis? You have a very thick perineum, Rob?
Super thick.
Okay, great.
All
Great.
right, there we go.
Well, we all have our titles now.
Jeff Garlin.
Not to be confused with Garlin, which you decorate a Christmas tree with.
Correct. That's
that the same?
Nope. That's Garland. That's Garland.
Oh, good thing you're fact checking.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his last name was the decorative tree.
No, Garland. Garlin.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And Garland is
Garland, huh?
yeah.
You put the garland on the tree.
You do.
Put the
you do.
Jeff
Wrap it
Garland on there.
around.
Emboss?
No. Embossing is
Stamping a business card?
it's a type of stamping. Yeah.
Like a raised.
I have an emboss machine.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you emboss?
I used to make some cards and stuff, and I would emboss.
You would?
Yeah, it's really fun, actually. Embossing, you take a stamp and you stamp on a basically clear pad,
Okay.
gluey clear pad.
Mm-hmm.
Then you put it on your paper or your card, whatever you're making.
Mm-hmm.
And then you cover that with glitter,
Oh.
this like type of glitter, embossing powder.
Okay.
And then
Ooh, embossing powder.
yeah, then you pour the excess off. Then you use your machine. You plug it in. You turn it on. It's like a hair dryer.
It bakes
it's like,
it? Hardening
Yeah, it
treatment?
hardens.
After you've put the
it's
embossing
raised.
powder on, it's raised. After you put the powder on, do you ever give it a?
Oh,
Dump.
you mean after you dump it?
Mhm.
Yeah, to make sure it's clean, of
Ooh,
course.
That's the part I'd like the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun. I got that at Paper Source.
Okay. And
Shout
how
out
long would
Paper
it?
Source.
Say you wanted to write happy birthday to somebody. What does that take? Couple hours?
No,
I don't know.
no. It would take. Depends on how much of a perfectionist you are, I suppose. But
You're pretty high.
10 minutes.
I've received many gifts wrapped by you, so
that's why I got into it, because it was really helping my wrapping card game, like delivery of presents.
do you have any fantasies about in your retirement opening up a wrapping store?
Well, no, I just really want a wrapping paper room in my house.
Oh, okay. You don't
that's
want
up
to have a shop
standard.
that wraps
I don't
things.
think I need to do that. No, I don't want to turn it into work.
That's smart.
Yeah, but I do want to have a room full of beautiful wrapping paper and all my accoutrements. But you're not interested in wrapping.
No, I find it laborious. I pride myself that I can do it. I don't think many boys can wrap. They haven't learned to fold the corners and whatnot. My mother insisted we knew how to do that. It's useful around certain holidays, Christmas,
mainly. And birthdays.
birthdays. Yeah.
You don't like giving gifts.
I love giving gifts. I'm so lazy about getting the gifts. Figuring out where the thing is,
The
driving to it.
logistics.
Yeah, the logistics of it are overwhelming to me. But when I do give someone a gift, I love to give someone a gift. It's very fun to give someone a gift if
Yeah.
you know they really want it.
It's my favorite thing.
Yeah. Like I've given you a few gifts and it was very fun to do that.
Yeah, you've given
Yeah.
me great gifts.
Yeah. Gift of life.
Sure, first and foremost.
Saved your life.
Ugh. It's so gross to say you saved someone's life.
It really
oh
is.
my God.
Yeah. I mean, in some cases, it's obviously literal. Like they rescued a drowning swimmer.
Sure, but even that person, I
Shouldn't
don't want
say,
them to say it like that.
I
Like,
saved your life.
ew, especially to the person.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Hey, John, what are you doing, Jimmy Jammer? We're going to go grab some burgers today. You want to roll out? Oh, you're busy? Cool. So I saved your life.
Remember, I saved your
So I guess I'll
life.
see you over at the burger place?
Yeah, no. Humility
Humility.
is
Faux humility is very important.
no. Real humility
Real humility is hard to achieve. I think you more just govern what you're saying out loud. You're still thinking all the thoughts, right? And you know better than to say self-aggrandizing things. But don't they cross your mind regardless?
Depends. I don't think if I save somebody from drowning.
You wouldn't say it, but wouldn't you hope that it always came up when you were around?
No.
Like, oh, that time Monica saved.
Oh my God, that's where we are different.
Really? You wouldn't want to be celebrated?
I do like being celebrated, but
Yeah.
for very specific things.
Your rapping jobs?
Yeah, mainly my rapping
Your
jobs.
cheerleading?
I like being celebrated for working really hard,
Uh-huh.
and that's pretty much it.
All things that confirm your identity, probably.
Yeah, like I'm not someone who saves somebody. So if I did that on accident,
Right.
really I would be like, I can't believe that happened. I'm glad that I was able to help, but also
This makes a
whoa.
ton of sense for you and I because I think people like me because I'll rescue them. Even though that's not true,
No, it's
I do
not.
think that. So if I did, in fact, rescue somebody, I'd be like, oh, just confirmed what I think is good about
But
me.
then why do you need other people to be talking about it? If you, then that's
Because it's
fine.
recognition that the identity you think you have is the same that other people do have of you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like a confirmation that your presenting self is the same as your internal self, which can help you feel less fraudulent.
I
You know, if
guess
you're like,
so.
oh, I'm this great rescuer, and then everyone around the campfire is like, well, tell you if I was drowning, the last person I'd want to walk by would be Dax.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, God, they have the opposite.
Yeah, that's a
opinion of
harsh
me of what-
realization. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you like it when I point out what a hard worker you are to other people in public?
Never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yes,
yeah,
I do.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
Yes, I do like that. I was thinking about this the other day because we were talking about Friends, the TV show.
Television show.
Yes, you were saying when it was on, you never watched it because you were too punk rock for it. You thought you were a little too cool for it.
I thought it was the TV show version of a mall.
Yes,
is
and
what
I said, oh my God, if it was set in a mall, I would like it even more.
Yes.
And then I was thinking about that a little later. This is going to now sound like a reverse humble brag.
Okay.
Based on all our conversations about insecurity, but I have no insecurity about being basic.
Right. Because you always looked unique.
I guess that's why. Like,
yeah.
I've never
your issue's
been...
never been that you're blending in.
Right.
Like some people feel like they're blending in and getting lost.
Yeah.
So they have a deep fear of being basic or uninteresting or all these things because they feel invisible. But you have always felt very visible.
Right.
Although your hair is not very visible, I'll argue.
I had somebody confirm for me that that was bogus
I know.
and
I
that
think
they
if-
could see my hair big time.
I can see your hair, but if your hair was pink, I'd see it more. Oh
Can
my
you
God.
see
Now
it
you're
now?
Emmy-nominated Monica Padman is fashioning her hair into a very large nest on top, a big knot. Oh my God, you're starting to look. Oh my God, wow.
Now can you see it?
Yes, I can. You look much taller.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So I'm going to have to start using a Bump It. Bump It is a toy for your hair, basically, where it makes your hair high.
oh,
Gives it a bump.
yeah. We love bumps in our hair.
Yeah, so I'm going to start doing that.
If I had your hair, I would look like Yanni. Is that the guy's name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The musician?
Yes, with the violins or whatever.
Yeah.
Something
I think violin.
techno classical. Aren't there like electric violins going on?
Oh, I
Shit?
think he did. Yeah.
Some high tech classical. Ooh, mixed messages.
I used to love an electric violin.
I do too.
You do?
I have a favorite electric violinist.
Who?
Jean-Luc Ponty.
Oh my God, I don't know who that is.
Oh my God,
I'll
Monica.
probably
He has a
like it,
song
though.
called Elephants in Love that gets me to a 10. And it's
Really?
electrical violin. It's very adult contemporary jazz, I want to warn you. It's
Oh.
probably not a genre that you're...
That's not what I was expecting.
What did you think it was going to be, like rock and roll?
No.
Yanni?
Not, like,
Enya?
you're getting a little warmer. I can't find the exact words I'm looking for. Maybe like the Lumineers, but
Okay.
with electric violins.
Yeah, this is straight up adult contemporary jazz, new age jazz. And I fucking love it.
Okay.
My father loved Jean-Luc Ponty.
Oh.
Yeah. My father only listened to electric.
Violin? Oh my God.
Think how limited his source material would be. No, he only listened to adult contemporary jazz, new age jazz.
Oh.
And so I slowly fell in love with lots of these.
Is that like a Kenny Loggins?
No.
What exactly is that genre?
God, who's the guy? And I went and saw him with Mae Whitman. Doesn't matter. We went to see him. I convinced Mae to go because I think her dad liked him too. We go to the Disney Music Hall. It's him playing guitar. And then the entire band is a wall about 8 feet tall and 40 feet wide of every kind of instrument being played by a computer, but it's a real instrument. It's not a sample. So it's a real bass drum being hit by a robot, a real snare, a real horn being blown by a computer. I don't know how much this wall costs or how he even invented it. Well, I've also read you his critique of Kenny G. Kenny G's the most popular ever, now that I think about it.
Maybe that's what I meant when I said Kenny Loggins.
Yeah, so Kenny G's the most popular ever jazz, new age jazz. Yeah. But the guy I'm trying to remember the name of wrote this scathing review of Kenny G's career. That's one of the funniest things I've ever read in my life.
Oh, wow.
And mind you, I think Kenny G's a very nice guy. So I didn't take pleasure in that Kenny G took it on the chin. Just the pedantic nature of this takedown. It was so technical with musical vernacular. It's one of the most amusing things I've ever read.
Do you think people were on dates there at
Primarily.
that concert?
Primarily.
And it was like making them horny?
Well,
all the instruments. Is it a horny type of music?
It's not a horny type of music. It's more like the twilight of your romance. Like just now relaxing. We got all those dicey, turbocharged adrenaline spikes out of the way. And now it's time for us to sit in lawn chairs holding hands, drinking a little vino tinto.
Oh, that's nice.
And just enjoying one another's presence.
Okay.
Pat Metheny.
Pat Metheny. Pat Metheny. Pat Metheny is one of the best jazz guitarists in the world, but he's definitely new age jazz. And please, everyone, read Pat Metheny's critique of Kenny G. It's unbelievable. He says that on most of his albums, he's playing off key. The best part was he even acknowledges, he takes a whole paragraph to say, let me tell you why I'm doing this. I wouldn't have even done this, but this motherfucker put out an album of like either Nat King Cole classics or some really great musicians' standards. Kenny G did.
Yeah.
He's like, I draw the line there. You're not entrusted to do these songs.
I mean, also...
I shouldn't celebrate it because it's hate, and we like things that are positive.
I don't like that, actually.
If you read it, I think you'd really like it.
Well, maybe I'd find it amusing.
It's so comedic.
Yeah, but also, like, leave him alone. Why do you feel like you have to publicly take down a person's...
Well, again, his argument was, I had no problem when you were just a popular saxophone player. Good for everyone, good for you, good for the listening public. But I've got to defend jazz. You physically can't play the songs, and now you're misrepresenting these great songs.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of like if a shitty filmmaker remade Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Tarantino should probably stand up and go, guys, this is not Citizen Kane.
No, he shouldn't, because also that's on the people to recognize, like, okay, this actually isn't all that good.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to stand up and be like the face of taking somebody down
I guess like he
peg?
feels like he's
like
preserving. Well, if it was just to take him down a peg, yes.
Well,
yes, but if he thinks he's preserving the history of jazz,
but it's not taking
doesn't it feel like a higher
away from,
calling?
I think that's like a nice thing to say to make yourself feel better about that. But,
Sure.
But I don't think that's the point of what he's actually doing.
You think maybe underneath of it all was some deep-seated jealousy that
Yes.
Kenny G was so popular?
Of course.
Now I gotta disclose this because it's important. I've met Kenny G. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
He's a very
I'm happy
lovely
for
guy.
his success.
And he's a pilot, and he landed a plane on a lake, and he got out of his plane, and the plane was called a Beaver.
Oh.
That was the name of the plane.
Okay.
And he was so nice.
Great. It's unnecessary.
You're right. You're right.
unnecessary.
I strive to be better.
The world will, like, if you really feel like there is a person making a huge mockery of this thing I've
Legacy.
invested my whole life in, I can understand the feeling. What I can't understand is then taking it to another level and publicly admonishing
You're right.
him.
You're right.
Really, when I hear that story, all I want is for Kenny G to keep doing well and for this person to die.
Okay. Wait. Oh no. That's the ultimate in negative. Monica, you just died from your own medicine.
I'm kidding. I don't. But it does make me want Kenny G to keep thriving.
Yeah, I think he's doing great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so some facts.
Yeah, hit me.
So he said Jewish people name their children after someone who is deceased. And I checked with my friend Lizzie, my resident
In-house
expert
expert.
on Judaism. Yes, and she sent me a good article. So here's a bunch of stuff about Jewish naming. So many people give a Jewish and English name. You might have heard that Jews do not name their babies for living people. While this is true in most communities of Ashkenazi Jews, the opposite is the case among Sephardic.
That sounds right. I've heard Sephardic Jews
Okay.
for sure.
It
It's
sounds
weird
like,
that's
it sounds like fart,
Yeah,
so I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, of course.
Should we check? Hold on, let's just listen real quick.
Yeah,
on
measles
how
off.
how to say it. Okay.
Sephardic.
That's right.
Sepharda.
Sephardic. Yeah.
Sephardic.
That's what I said.
I know, Sephardic. If you say it fast, it sounds like there's a T instead of a
Right.
D. Sephardic.
But then it's dick.
Oh, you're right. Oh, wow.
The opposite is the case among Sephardic Jews, Jews of Iberian or Middle Eastern origin, who often choose to name children after living relatives. In fact, many Sephardic grandparents look forward to being honored with grandchildren who bear their own names while they are still alive to see it. I could see that being a big fight amongst
The living grandparents?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Smart to name after the dead because they can't fight about it.
That's right. I'm trying to think if I would like it if the girls named, if they had a son and named the kid Dax. I don't think I would necessarily care. I'd like to see a girl named Dax, but not a boy in my honor. I think that's a weird custom for me
Really? Why?
because it seems narcissistic. Like when people do the second and the third, it's like they just want themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like, by the way, I get it. All parents are guilty of it. It's like you want your kid to look like you.
Yeah.
That's just the beginning of your self-centeredness and your narcissism. Is people always say that Lincoln looks just like Kristen. No one's ever saying that either of them look like me.
Well, I think Lincoln looks like you. I've said it a lot, so
That's why I
you
like
just
you
don't
so
ever
much.
hear
You're the
it.
only person that says it. That's why our friendship is based on that.
sure.
But you weirdly, I don't know why it's so stupid, but you want your kids to look like you. By the way, I don't want my kids to look like me because I don't like how I look, but it's all complicated. So, of course, then you take a step further. I want them to have my same name.
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem a little egocentric? I
Yeah.
mean, you desire it, but you police yourself
I
on
can
it.
see that. Yeah. I would, and also, like, I cannot relate. Like, I would never want to name my kid Monica. But if my kid named their kid,
Monica.
yeah, that I would like.
It feels very
Yes,
sweet of them.
It does. It feels sweet, and it feels like this is a person in my life that was important. I'm
Yeah.
probably dead. So
Well,
yeah,
no,
it
you're
was
alive.
important. And so I want to honor her dead body by naming my child after her. So
Yes.
anyway, I think that's nice.
I do too.
Among both Sephardic and Ashkenazi Jews, there's a custom to name a child after someone, usually a family member who's died. The usual explanation for this practice is that the parents hope that in receiving the name of an admired family member, the child will emulate in life the virtues of the deceased namesake. To a certain extent, too, it is believed that the soul of the loved one lives on in the child who now bears his name. Some parents choose a name that has the same meaning or similar meaning as the name of the relative that they're naming. Some parents choose a name that sounds like the name of the relative they're naming after. Some people try to find a name with the whole consonant cluster that is phonically similar, like Amalia for Emily. And some just choose a name that starts with the same letter.
Like Ramaka.
Exactly.
Ramaka Radman.
It's cool.
It's very cool.
The Star Trek pendant. Couldn't remember the name of that. I think he's talking about the Starfleet Delta.
Oh, that makes sense.
Starfleet Delta or Arrowhead. Okay, this is interesting. Get ready.
I'm ready.
Is shame connected to cancer?
Ooh.
Okay, this is a little long,
Okay.
but it's worth it. This is from the National Foundation of Cancer Research. Very trusted brand.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's so long that one of the three of us will have cancer by the time it's over.
Despite our societal belief that shame is a strong motivator for improved behavior and habits, researchers have discovered that the opposite is true. Shame has been linked with withdrawal, inactivity, and increased intake of sugars and fats. Therefore, it is possible that feelings of shame regarding a cancer... So this is once you've been diagnosed. So therefore, it is possible that feelings of shame regarding a cancer diagnosis could make it more difficult for patients to adhere to positive lifestyle changes as a component of treatment. More importantly, Research indicates that shame is a major trigger of HPA axis, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, our body's central stress response system. Igniting a physiological stress response resulting in a cascade of biochemical changes. These biochemical changes have been linked to increased inflammation and decreased immunity. More specifically, shame and negative emotions have been both linked to higher levels of pro-inflammatory cytokine called interleukin 6. That's IL-6. Since IL-6 is highly correlated with cancer progression, it is probable that feelings of shame can physiologically contribute to advancement of the disease.
Whoa.
Luckily, research in the last decade, spearheaded by the University of Texas's Dr. Kristen Neff on self-compassion, has demonstrated a promising solution. Her research has identified self-compassion as the antithesis of shame, both psychologically and physiologically. By implementing the three main components of self-compassion, including self-kindness, normalizing an experience, and improving mindfulness, studies demonstrate an increase in intrinsic motivation to improve self-care.
I could be better at this.
Yeah, we all could.
Yeah.
Physiologically, research on self-compassion has also been shown to buffer the adverse biochemical changes that occur as a result of HPA activation. But more surprisingly, self-compassion is correlated with lower levels of IL-6. By understanding the link between shame, negative emotions, and physiological changes in the body, we can not only develop respected cancer treatments that prioritize self-compassion and positive mental health, but we can also begin to view self-compassion as an important component of cancer prevention.
Worth a pound.
Yeah.
You did such a good job reading that out loud.
Thank you.
The way you said Texas's, I was like, I would have fucked that up. Also, IL-6 sounds like IL-6. I would be saying IL-6. Like this problem originates in IL-6 next to the mayonnaise and the condiments. So there's a lot going on in that.
Yeah.
I think you should have like an ASMR sexual podcast where you just read technical stuff.
Oh, you liked that.
Well, remember I had this thought when you were talking about something being hard and whatever. Do you remember this? A few fact checks ago.
The like bolt thing?
Yes, you're talking about making ball bearings.
Oh, right.
Yes, and I was like, I feel like this could be a kink for people.
Oh.
It's so technical, and
I'm happy to fill that niche.
that would be awesome.
You know, that reminds me, like, when I was in elementary school, this is so odd. Elementary and, like, middle school. I really liked when teachers were describing things and they used colors, like, everyone put their essay in the blue folder and then get out a green piece of paper and a red colored pencil and draw a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
There was something about the way they would say the colors. I really liked it.
Like in a horny way?
I don't know if it was a horny way.
How about in an erotic way, the way Esther Perel uses
I think
the word
so.
erotic?
Something got me excited.
Popped.
Something popped.
Oh, wow.
My hymen.
Wow. Bree had this amazing kink where she loved being explained things in retail stores.
Right.
Like about the coat and why it was a good coat.
Yeah.
She would get euphoric from that. It was one of my favorite things about her is she would just like go to a mall and have things explained to her. And she'd be in a state of euphoria. Yes.
Yeah.
And I was
can
like,
really relate.
Kind of jealous of that.
I wonder what it is about our brains. Like, what is the thing happening when she's saying a blue folder? Like, when I say it, I don't feel it.
Right.
There's something about specifically it being the teacher.
Well, you have a teacher thing.
Well, yeah, that's its own thing. But, but I don't think that's connected to the color.
Right.
The color speech.
That's its own thing. Yeah.
It's so weird. And I remember I told my best friend at the time, my best friend Gina, I told her.
Oh, you did?
Because I was like, maybe this is normal.
Sure.
And it was
and you basically
confirmed
said,
that
like,
it was
do you
not.
love when Dr. Hicks says, pull your green sheet of paper out, stick it under your red pencil?
Yeah.
Penso and folder. So I had a teacher that, as I've told you, said penso, folder in your tray. Oh, Carly happened to have the same teacher 6 years later. We always talk like her. I'm not going to say her name on here, but grab your penso and your folder and put it in your tote tray.
I think it's so cute. Anyway, so you think I should maybe invest in an erotic podcast?
I do.
Okay.
I really do. Yeah.
All right.
Well, they say sex sells, right? That's what they're saying.
Is that what
Sex-
they're saying?
They say sex sells.
Speaking of Brie, so you said that, you know, after you guys broke up, you felt like, oh, maybe that feeling you get when you fall in love with someone, maybe that's an element of youth as opposed to just something humans can feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said, but then you fell in love with Kristen and you realized that's not the case.
Yeah.
And then he said he's never had that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
interesting.
that was sad.
Yeah.
It was sad and and validating for me a little bit because we've had these conversations and I have said, like, I don't know. I don't know that I will ever have that. And you seem to differ.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
But let me ask you something, because what's really curious is when you hear him say it, is it easy for you to see what I see, which is he thinks that's a result of everyone around him. He thinks that the person he could love never entered his life. He doesn't see that it's him. He's the reason he's not loved someone like that. The real world is static and constant. So if it's the person who never falls in love with someone, it's not the other people around them's fault.
Well, it's no one's, I'm not saying it's anyone's fault.
Well, I am. I'm saying if you never fall in love with somebody, I'm saying it's your fault. You haven't gone out and met enough people. You didn't look hard enough. No one who's in love, someone knocked on their door and was like, hey, I'm here for you to love. It's like it took going out and getting like a job or an education or anything. No, you don't agree with that?
I mean, I know plenty of people who didn't go searching and have found it.
But were they open in a way that other people aren't?
Maybe.
Were they more adventurous with giving it a shot or being open to
I
experimenting?
mean, you're talking about me right now. And
No,
I think it's the same. It's not the same as him.
I'm talking about him too.
Well, I think he found someone he loved. He married a person. He was in a marriage for a long time. But I think the feeling that you're talking about.
Falling in love. I think the person would have some personal block that prevented them from falling in love.
So you think you can fall in love with anyone?
I do. You know this theory of mine and you don't like it. But yes, I think that if you ended up on a deserted island with any human being on planet Earth, if you chose to, you could learn to value them and respect them and be grateful for them in a way that is love.
But that's not the feeling you're talking about, where you're head over heels and you can't stop thinking about a person. And that's a different thing. And that's the thing you were saying. You were afraid that was just never going to happen again.
Yeah, the kind of thunderstruck feeling.
Yeah.
But let's put it this way. People who are love addicts, they feel it all the time. They feel it nonstop. And it's because they're looking for that.
Well, they often feel it in a fantasy way.
Of course they do.
So it's not.
But remember Esther saying that James Joyce or someone like that said, falling in love has to do with the imagination, not the other person.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can look at it as a spectrum where you have a love addict on one side and they're falling in love every 3 days. And then you have someone who can't find love or has never experienced it. And what I'm saying is that both people are the same human being. They both have much different imaginations and much different everything.
Okay, but I think the love addict, often it's not real. When the fantasy element goes away, or when that becomes more of a reality, the whole thing falls apart.
Right, but I'm just going back to you saying that, yes, the person on the island that you could come to love and care for and be grateful for and miss deeply if you're ever separated is different from the feeling of falling in love. And I'm agreeing with you. Those are two different feelings.
Yeah.
And then I'm pointing out that the falling in love part is your imagination. And the proof of that is you can see a love addict who falls in love every 3 days. So it's a decision they've made that they're going to experience that all the time. And they find a way to do that. I don't think it's healthy, but that to me proves you can decide to fall in love. On some level,
You can
right?
decide to get infatuated with something.
But we're only
That's
talking
different.
about the swell of emotions that we differentiated between the person on the island and falling in love. That those are two different feelings.
But I guess what I'm saying is you can be the person who never finds love, who is constantly, quote, falling in love in fantasy.
Right, but I just want to be clear about the two things we're talking about. Both things the person is responsible for. So learning to love and respect somebody, that's the one thing, the long-term love. And then the thunderstruck feeling is also all your imagination. I'm saying the fact that someone can choose to fall in love all the time, to me, proves that it's a decision you make. And it can be made over and over again in an unhealthy, pathological way.
Yeah.
But it can be made. So if you agree that you can love somebody, you can come to respect them and appreciate them and all that, and then we're just arguing about whether or not you can have the wave of emotions, I'm saying the wave of emotions is kind of up to the person. It's at least within their ability to have the wave of emotions.
I understand why you feel like that.
Right.
Because you love a lot of people. And respect a lot of people. And so I get why you feel like you could probably have that with every person on earth. But I don't feel like that.
Right.
And I don't love everybody that comes into my orbit.
Right.
So
I don't love everybody. I think if that spectrum we just detailed, I think I'm a 6. If the love addict's a 10, someone who's never been in love is a 0, I think I'm a 6 for the falling in love part.
Oh, so
the fact that I've fallen in love with like 4 or 5 women says that it's not 0 and it's not a kabillion. Right? I've felt the feeling of falling in love with 5 people or something, right?
Yeah.
So wherever I'm at on that spectrum, it has happened to me multiple times, and yet it doesn't happen to me every week.
Right.
So I'm a 6, I'll give myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just taking the personal responsibility for it. It's like you can kind of pick where you want to be on the spectrum.
I know. I guess that's where I disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think you picked to be at a 6. I think that's your disposition, and there's a lot of factors that have come into play that have made you over time feel like that.
I didn't pick it. You're right. But I could change in either direction. I could pull back from that. If I was a love addict, I could start being more realistic about what I'm really experiencing. Is it this or is it a high? Do I really, like I could get into that and I could come off of that point. And I think likewise, someone that's at a 0 could come up to a 4 if they put effort into it and they said, oh, I want to fall in love. Okay, how do I fall in love? Well, I'm more flirty with everyone I meet, or I'm more open to all this different stuff. I presume if there's physical actions you could take to walk backwards from a 10, I think there must be some you could walk forward from a 0.
Yeah, makes sense. That's all.
That was all? Oh. Well, good thing that we had a juicy debate with one of the facts.
Yeah, good thing.
Don't you think?
Yeah, it's always fun. Okay.
I love you.
Love you.